Faith the dog trainer here. So Lacey's sleeping, and I realized that when our dogs don't do something we dislike, we really aren't taking the time to give that feedback. Because I was working with a client's dog, excuse my feet, yesterday, and so with a really young puppy at the teething, mouthing stage where they're just kind of piranhas. And what I want to be able to demonstrate is I'm not just going for the dog's collar, which is exactly what I'm doing right here. I want to be able to touch. This is what I want. Yes, I know you were sleeping. What I want from a dog at any stage is no response. And it tends to be, I asked the owner, when was it that, because I even had asked, I want you to be able to purposely work on just being able to touch. It doesn't mean grab or yank or anything. The dog's collar regularly when they're not doing anything wrong, so that when you actually do need to get a hold of them, if you don't have them on the leash currently, just to be able to snap the leash to connect it to get it on them, they're going to turn into stinker mode where they're just, I don't think so, and cop an attitude and turn around and use their mouth on you. And part of that is them just, they're teething. And so they just want to put whatever is nearest them or makes contact, touches them into their mouth. But when they're overly tired, especially when they're really young puppy, like 10, 12 weeks old, they're really cranky and irritable when they're overly tired. And if that happens to coincide with a time where we go, hi, let me touch you, hey, let me get a hold of you, or let me just pick you up to put you somewhere else or in the crate or something, that tends to be when we get the most pushback from the puppy. And that's not the time you're supposed to be practicing. You're supposed to be practicing when they're calm and they're not actually doing anything wrong. So I just want to reiterate that we don't practice these things exactly when we need them. We practice beforehand so that when we do need a recall any of that, so that in the heat of the moment, the dog knows how to give us the response we want, and it's not a failed, like, frustrating, oh my gosh, she never listens type of experience, because there's too much pressure, there's too much at stake in that moment. That's why it's so important where we practice these things before there's an issue and not just during. And then we think the dog's being defiant or they're being aggressive, or um, honestly, we don't necessarily, when we don't have the experience to understand what we should be working with dogs, we just label the dog as being stubborn or things like that. So, a little something for you guys to work with. Since I don't have that 10-week-old puppy right here in front of me, I just wanted to be able to politely demonstrate. And to be fair, normally I actually don't try to interrupt when my dogs are sleeping. It's really important that they get that sleep and they feel safe, and that we're not bugging them, or the kids aren't coming in bugging them and playing with them and purposely waking them up numerous different times. Dogs will become a little more inclined to becoming anxious if they don't have that safe, secure place, especially because she's under my desk. Like, she's literally, here's my den. So for me to come and disturb her is really not a fair thing to do. A lot of times I will even talk if I need to approach, like, say we're like, oh, we have an appointment, we have to go right now. So if she was sleeping, that's exactly what I would do. She heard me talking in advance, because some dogs really don't have a tolerance for that. So, two for one here. We started off talking about touching the dog, grabbing their collar when they're being a stinker because, say, they've just jumped up or they're grabbing at your pants or something like that. Now transition into, hey, if your dog is sleeping, let them stay sleeping, or speak or approach in a manner so they know maybe you're purposely trying to wake them up with your voice, so that it's not your hand, that they then almost do just this reactive, like, who, what, is like almost like someone grabbed your arm. Your natural reflex is to kind of like, what? It startles you. So there you go, guys. And we'll let Lacey go back to sleep here.